Okay, for your letter cards, you've got two different stacks that are two different fonts. And the purpose for this is you want kids to be able to see that A and B, all the letters can be written in different ways, but it's still the same letter. Okay, so you can use these decks interchangeably. You can use just one deck and going through and identifying letters. And if they, you know, just to start with, if they know the letter, you can just say, what letter? They say A, you're great. If they have a hard time verbalizing that, then you can give them options. Touch A, good job. Give me A, nice job. Where's A? Awesome. Make sure that you mix things up so that it's not always, the correct one isn't always in the same spot. If they're having even more trouble than that, you can always use what we call a distractor, which is something that you never call on. So they're having to attend and actually look, but this isn't another letter. You're never going to say, give me blob, right? So my basic method is to first introduce a letter that they don't know alone and tell them what it is. A, give me A. Good job. Touch A. Once, 3 times they're actually giving you the card, touching the card, showing you the card, and they're successful with that, then you can add a distractor. Where's A? Okay, still picking it up. If they're grabbing random cards, that gives you a clue that you really need to work on some discrimination. And we may need to bring in some reinforcement at that point. So it makes a difference to them that they're correct, okay? Again, make sure that you mix these up, top, bottom, different areas, so that they're really looking at the card. Once they've got that down, when you introduce another new letter, and these, you don't have to introduce them in alphabetical order, but it's fine if you'd like to. But when you introduce a new letter, always introducing it alone so that they're not confused. So again, B, give me B, touch B, where's B? And again, adding that distractor, multiple different areas until they get it right. And then you've got the two letters together. Give me A, good job. Give me A, nice. Where's B? Touch A, touch B. Okay, making sure that you vary the placement, that they're really having to look and decide, and using those different cues. Okay, so that's one way that you can work on just identifying those. I would start a session by going through all the letters so they're used to them and singing the song, you know, A, B, C, D. Okay, all the way through, so they're seeing all those letters. Have them touch the letters as you go. Maybe, you know, lay them down once. Okay, let's sing again. Let's sing and touch. A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way through. And then use the individual letters that they're working on. If they've mastered some letters, like they happen to know what A is, it's always good to have a lot of success. So don't skip a letter because you feel like, oh, they already know that. That's really a good opportunity for you to give them a lot of that reinforcement. Yes, good job, so they feel successful. If they have a hard time identifying just that way, you can use both decks at the same time so that when you're putting out a card, you're putting out another A and saying A, match A, and then they're taking, and so this is a little awkward because I don't have a kid in front of me. Let's say that the kid is sitting here. I would have the card in front of them, their choices in front of them, and then say A, match A, so they're picking up the card that's closest to them and then matching it. Okay, that gives them that visual discrimination if they can't just run on the auditory and remember the visual. Again, when you would first mix it up, you'd have the distractor, again, the cue A, match A, and they'd have to do the visual discrimination, picking up and matching. Okay, so the options are always closest to the child. Child sitting here, the options are closest to them, and the one cue that you're asking for is the one that's further away. This is kind of representing communication. They've got all the words in their brain and you're asking them for one of them. Okay, And again, introducing one at a time. And then when you've got multiple, making sure that you mix them up. B, match B. Good job matching B. Even mixing up how they're in front of them. B, match B. Good job. Oops. A, match A. All right, so that the correct answer isn't always on the same side. The letters are always on the same side, and you kind of mix them up, okay? Again, if you have questions, you know where to find me.